Hey, what's going on to all of my Aquarians? So please make sure to get the book at Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com. The link will be in the description box below as usual. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share the video. Really appreciate all the views that y'all are giving me. Consistently. I put a video out. Y'all are really giving me these views. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the people coming through, giving me the likes. Appreciate all that, the subscribers. Um, we're here on this journey. Like I said before, y'all already know that whenever it is that I think about y'all, the people who will essentially join my subscriber count later, and all of my subscribers that I have right now, y'all already know that I'm thinking about how to make this channel better. So I actually want to push out more content, and I've been trying to figure out, how to make my videos long enough to where they're not so long, right? But at the same time, I really want to go back to 10 cards. So that's when I'll be able to actually push out the production a lot faster. So, but anyway, those are just my thoughts. If you'd like to contact me for personal reading, my email address as well as prices are in the description box below. So the cards that I come up with are the Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, Nine of Swords, Five of Wands, Nine of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Page of Cups. I was going to say the Hierophant, right? The Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and last but not least, we have the Two of Swords. So, what I'm seeing here for the Aquarians, this is for Aquarius. What I'm seeing here for a lot of you Aquarius is I'm seeing, wow. This is so crazy because I'm seeing betrayal. I'm seeing some of you Aquarians just got yourselves out of a relationship, getting backstabbed once again. Again, Aquarius does rule the 11th house, and the 11th house does represent hidden enemies. So a lot of you Aquarians do kind of have to be wary about that type of stuff. And then the Ten of Wands is about you just picking yourself up after doing some grieving, right? Because of course it hurts, especially if you care about people. And of course Aquarius people do care. It's just that it's a matter of, sometimes Aquarius people don't necessarily want to admit that to themselves, but Aquarians do really care, especially if they consider you a real friend. Then they have standards of you, right? Aquarians expect you to do better, right? To be upstanding. And like I said before, you Aquarians have to understand that most people are not going to be upstanding and outstanding, right? There's only 4 zodiac signs that are not animals, right? The word zodiac is zoology. It's Aquarius being 1, Gemini, Virgo, and Libra. So it's much easier for us, especially when we're on our square and we're doing the right thing, right? It's much easier for us to actually be much more stand up and much more outstanding than it is for the average Joe. If and I'm not trying to disrespect any of the other zodiac signs that may be watching this, but you have to understand that those people relate more to their carnal nature most of the times. I'm not even going to say most. They relate to their carnal nature more often than not. And for us, me being a Virgo myself, having Aquarius in my chart, stuff like this, you Aquarians, me, us Virgos, stuff like that, it's a lot easier for us to relate to our more spiritual understanding. So this person stabbed you in the back, disrespected you, and you picking yourself up off the ground and walking off, right, and moving forward. The Nine of Swords is about you, Aquarians, thinking about why this person was even wasting your time in the first place. They were wasting your time, Aquarius, because that's just what it is. You know, that's the name of the game. People will waste your time based upon fear. But again, most people's egos are in control of them. You know, I remember being young myself and, you know, being 8 years old and having friends, and, you know, people's egos are fully developed at like 8. You know what I mean? You're asking them to hang out with you and do something courageous, and they're like, nah, they're not trying to do that, and they're trying to make up any kind of excuse, you know. So the Five of Wands now, the Five of Wands now represents how, so there's, how do I say, like, there's an internal battle going on with you because you're trying to figure out why exactly would this person do all this stuff. Again, they're relating to their carnal natures, regardless of whatever zodiac sign it is. They're relating to their carnal natures more often than not. So it could be even an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, or Virgo, right? But if they aren't evolved, then they can still relate to their carnal natures. In the Chinese zodiac, you know what I mean? Those 4 zodiac signs that I just named have animal attributes that are akin or in the place, right? For Virgo, it's a snake. For Aquarius, it's a dog. For Gemini, I forgot what it is. But, yeah, and I forgot Libra, too. I think for Libra, it's a horse. You know what I mean? Something like that. Yeah, I think for Libra, it's a horse. And so, yeah, so that's you know what I mean? So you need to understand, Aquarius, that I just gave you the answer. It's based upon fear, but their fear is taken to the extreme of mental illness. They don't want to take that leap with you because they're so afraid of what you Aquarians are going to do, and if you Aquarians decide to leave them alone and stuff like this, that they are completely unwilling to actually take that chance. And then the things that the Nine of Wands represents, how a lot of you Aquarians don't try to think too much because you're going to end up burning yourself out and be like, oh, I'm done for a while. And then the Queen of Pentacles represents how you need to learn to understand to nurture yourself. Don't forget to nurture yourself. Take some time off and really, you know, rest. Don't do too much activity right around now, right? Aquarians go through a lot. The High Priestess, right? The High Priestess and the Page of Cups. These two things represent how a lot of you Aquarians, you do have a secret admirer, but it's from the very same people whom you got disrespected with. The very same people. And that goes to show you what it is that I'm talking about. The mental illness is real. This person is too off their rocker to realize what it is that they've done in actual application. They disrespected you. They stabbed you in the back, right? Spiritually speaking, not physically speaking, right? They done that. They made themselves untrustworthy. They got you feeling so terrible to the point where maybe you've been having sleeping problems. Regardless of the who or the what, it still affected you because you actually thought you could trust this person, people collectively. And now come to find out, they actually have you a lot in mind. They actually have a lot of you in mind because they're thinking about you quite a bit. But at the same time, still trying to hold up this facade like things didn't necessarily work out between you and them. Gee, I wonder why. And the Page of Cups now represents how, but they don't seem to, they put on an internal blindfold. They don't seem to understand what it is that they do. You may have even been dealing with water signs. And even if you haven't been dealing with water signs, they have water sign traits, because that's what water signs are notorious for. Page of Cups represents talking to the fishes or fish. Delusion. The Nine of Pentacles represents how take your time. When you're finally ready to move forward, you'll be successful in that, right? Obviously, it'll be fresh. You'll still be somewhat thinking about this person, right? You're not crazy, but you will eventually move forward from this. And when you're ready, right, go ahead and do that. It'll be much easier for you. So the Queen of Wands now represents, remember, you also have responsibilities that you're going to have to learn to uphold. It's not just you by yourself. More than likely, you've got other people who count on you and other people who actually want you around them. Pay attention to those people who actually want you around them. The Eight of Pentacles represents how a lot of you Aquarians also need to understand to analyze the situation, right? The lower octave of Aquarius is Virgo. Virgo is I analyze. Aquarius is I know. So you're only going to know unless you actually analyze and take the time to understand. So analyze what went wrong with you. Analyze the situation. Analyze why things didn't go right. Analyze why this person was so disrespectful and off their rocker. Right? Because when you make that analysis and you see the reason why, what's going to happen here is that you're going to start to see that a lot of people whom you may meet even in the future, if they have these same traits in the future, ultimately you're going to be able to see that if they exhibit the same kind of behavior that this person exhibited with you, a past loved one, you'll be able to see straight through it and you'll know, right? You should be able to develop that sense of perception to know there's no reason for you to continue to speak to this person again, because that's really what it is. When you are very skilled and experienced in something, in particular relationships, you'll, right, like myself or even more than me, I really want you to be even more than me. That you'll know what to look out for, and you'll know there's no reason to continue to speak to this person once they exhibit certain traits. And it wouldn't be biased of you to think that way. It's actually fair because you're experienced enough. The Knight of Swords is pay attention to people who are interested in you. You understand what I'm saying? Those are the people who you should want to hang out with. The people that represent the Five of Pentacles, right? That close the doors to you, yeah, walk away from that and never look back. The Two of Swords, also watch out for people who are defensive, right? People who are playing defense, who are actually too blind, pay attention to the card, right? Too blind to understand that they're actually offensive. They're starting stuff with people whom don't deserve to be started stuff with based upon their own shortcomings. So a lot of you Aquarians have to watch out for that. Let's clarify the Two of Swords. Let's clarify the Two of Swords. The Hierophant, see, there you go. So you have the High Priestess and the Hierophant in one reading. The King of Swords, the Five of Swords, right. The High Priestess, the Hierophant represents, this is what it is that you're rolling with. You have your experience. You have your knowledge. You have your wisdom. Those are weapons, you know, and those are weapons that are invisible, sneaky, spiritual. And then what's happening here is that the King of Swords and the Five of Swords is that, again, you're going to be very experienced when it comes to future situations. because more people are going to come at you from the perspective of thinking that they know about you, right? And that you're typical and that they can run all these types of games with you. Obviously, that's not going to work, and try to dump you or try to play with your mind later and throw you away. That's not going to go down as well as they thought it's going to be, or as easy as they think. A lot of you Aquarians are going to be quite adept and prepared at whatever it is that they've got going on. And you'll become somewhat of a king of swords yourself. So let's clarify. Let's clarify the King of Cups. You have the Death card. Water on water, the Star. And the Six of Pentacles. So the Death card does represent a very painful transformation, a fundamental one that's been going on with you Aquarians, right? Since this person left, right? Because I'm sure more than likely they've already left. And like I said, it's a fundamental change. A lot of you Aquarians are now very different. And because of that, you have a lot more power now. You know, Scorpio represents, well, the Death card represents Scorpio. And Scorpio is a powerhouse, right? Scorpio represents nuclear energy. So, power. You understand what I'm saying? So, radiation. So this represents how a lot of you Aquarians have become much more powerful, because you're, like I said, you're much more prepared. And the thing is that the Star card is Aquarius. Aquarius in the major arcana is a star, which represents you're giving off a lot more light, a lot more darker light, but stronger light than what it is that you used to before this situation. The universe was created from dark stars, not bright ones. And there is a such thing as bright darkness. That's why it is that you get dark lights, right? Right? Or the UV lights, or the, you know, when you want to find something that's not seen by the eye, you shine them under a what? A dark light. So the thing is that you have the, so you're radiating this dark energy, right? Right? You have dark matter and you have dark energy, which is good, because what that means here is that you have understood what your role is in this whole thing and how you can become much more powerful, and you've gained a lot more perspective. You have bridged that gap. And then you have the Six of Pentacles, which represents, they obviously will get their just desserts, just to give y'all some closure. They'll suffer for it until they can learn from their mistakes. So that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe. Let's get this to 30 likes. Peace.